Did Epic delay UEFN due to bad reception of Chapter 3 end event? This is the second part of Creative 2.0 update number 2 from December, but sorry for a late upload. And in this video we're gonna look at the Fracture Chapter 3 end event, which could be made in UEFN, Chapter 4 Battle Royale running on Unreal Engine 5, UE Learning tab updates with many meta sounds and audio learning resources, Fortnite Creative updates version 23.00 and 23.10, and some leaks and news from December about the UEFN. What it seems, Epic did set a yearly timeline for Chapter's duration, as Chapter 3 began at 5th of December 2021. This year, at December 3rd, Fracture, the Chapter 3 final event took place. Hype for the event was built with the marketing materials trying to convey something big, scary and powerful coming, tons of tornadoes, destruction and chaos. And so event happened, being in short divided into 3 parts. Intro cinematic, gameplay part, and outro cinematic. Without going into story much, in intro, epic in quotes battle took place where loopers were fighting against the Herald Queen, controlling the Chrome, which was a new feature in Chapter 3. TLDR is that Queen won and Chrome consumed the whole island, but doing so, Queen consumed herself, which led to a total island annihilation and a catastrophic explosion destroying it all. As for action versus cinematic, many consider this strange decision, as this could easily be the most action part of the event. Moreover, there were leaked parts of the cinematic which were cut out, and we do not really know why, but we'll come back to this later. Of course, we survived the explosion alongside some debris of the island, and with 0 point weakened and exposed, now we were tasked with restoring fragmented floating land by doing certain quests like collecting 0 point fragments or other teamwork oriented activities. 0 point was gradually sucking new pieces of island, providing more puzzles and interactive elements. Finally, with enough work done, island could have been reshaped, and doing so, 0 point sucked new parts of other realities, reconfiguring new island. And this happened on the outro cinematic, which gave us a glimpse into how Chapter 4 map will look like. Reception was at least mixed, not to say many disliked how the event turned out. As mentioned, not only the grand battle foreshadowed was a cutscene with somewhat anticlimactic death of main villain of the chapter plot, the gameplay part for many was boring and messy. The teamwork aspect of it seemed too weak to overshadow repetitiveness, and add to it player being dropped mid-event and performance issues, and for many it was not on par with other events' quality or expectations. What is interesting is that there are findings suggesting even was made in some parts or maybe even entirely in UEFN, which can explain a lot. Add to it previously mentioned delays, more delays, and even more delays which might happen in the future, and suddenly whole picture emerges. So leaks suggest some parts of UEFN are to be found in files concerning event, codenamed Radish. Moreover, given its nature and quality which were dubbed worse than the usual epic quality event, plus some visual and gameplay effects similar to what could be found in creative mode, community came to a conclusion, in fact it was made in UEFN. Now, this has two consequences. From one side, it might explain why Epic is careful with UEFN release dates to the point of postponing it and unsureness. It was hard for Epic to pull off event with it, and those parts of cinematic might have been cut also due to this. UEFN then is now in quite unsteady shape, especially with failed showcase again improving it. But bad reception might be another motivating aspect for delay. On the other side, event had amazing visuals. There was a lot of going on during the gameplay part with the gravity shifting, animated parts of landscape, story mechanisms, custom interactions, and overall interactive team-oriented loop. If true that end event was entirely made in UEFN, it very well showcased the potential of what is achievable using UEFN. I wonder though how reviews of it would have changed if it was announced UEFN was involved, and due of no information about it, was it then done so to avoid bad or just judge the reception? It might have also been a testing grounds for proving the pipeline of using it for creating something of such a scale. Well, I hope one day we're gonna learn the mystery, but let's move on, because with the end event, the new Chapter 4 of Battle Royale started. New collabs, new weapons and consumables, new reality augments perk system, hurtling mechanic, capture points mechanic, and beautiful map with iconic POIs and many more. All of this sprinkled, but at the same time soaked deep as running on Unreal Engine 5.1. And this is huge deal. Not only chapter itself got warm reception, but all the visual quality improvements which Unreal Engine technology brings to the game made us mesmerized in how beautiful Fortnite is now thanks to it. UE 5.1 is very important from side of UEFN. Remember, in my previous Freeze Creative 2.0 update video, we reviewed Unreal Engine 5.1 features when it released, which might play some role in Fortnite. And it turned exactly that. I was predicting it will come with UEFN, but Chapter 4 got them us even quicker, which is just amazing. Now Chapter brings Nanite, which allows highly detailed 3D models and landscapes utilizing virtualized geometry, allowing for millions of polygons being rendered on the screen at real time. in many cases removing the need of LOD system. Well, on devices and platforms supporting Nanite, but LOD is often still used for performance. Now each brick, stone, wood plank, tree, flower, blade of grass and wall trim is high detailed model. Lumen provides real-time global illumination at 60 FPS, beautiful interior spaces with bounce lights, plus characters reacting to the lighting of their surroundings. For example, red rocks might bounce red light onto your outfit. Also, outfits that have emissive aka glowing qualities will scatter light on nearby objects and surfaces. Coupled with volumetric skies, improved materials like water, and Viro is just straight beautiful. Virtual shadow maps allow for highly detailed shadowing. Each brick, leaf, and modeled detail will cast the shadow, and character self-shadowing is extremely accurate. This means that things like hats and other small details on characters will also cast shadows. This is new shadow mapping method used to deliver consistent, high-resolution shadowing that works with film-quality assets and large, dynamically lit open worlds using Unreal Engine 5 Nanite with Charlotte's geometry, Lumen global illumination and reflections, and world partition features, all working in Fortnite. Temporal super resolution is an upgrade over temporal anti-aliasing in Fortnite and allows for high-quality visuals at high frame rate. Nanite micropolygon geometry and the fidelity demands of the next generation of games have increased the amount of detail displayed on screen like never before. To meet these demands, Epic written a temporal super resolution algorithm from scratch that replaces UE4's temporal AA for higher end platforms. In Unreal, temporal super resolution is enabled by default in your project settings. With the introduction of these UE5 features in Fortnite Battle Royale, Fortnite's video settings have changed on PC. Now you can tailor your visual experience as you see fit with those new features. Well, with Creative Mode and UE 5.1 features that they actually get to work on Creative, Battle Royale Island we did get recently as Creative Island map was updated to Artemis Chapter 4 map. Unfortunately, features mentioned do not work yet in Creative Mode beside temporal super resolution. There were some glitches allowing you to load into Creative Map using Lumen, but officially we will have to wait for creative experiences with all those sexy features. It might be that those will be available at launch of UEFN, though with possible delays I'd expect them to come much closer. Other aspects like visual effects, fire effects, destruction effects were greatly improved. Fire looks much realistic and Lumen adds to its quality. Destruction now adds a lot of debris particles affected by direction of destruction impact, and explosions look just awesome. It is not sure how much of it uses chaos physics framework of Unreal Engine, as there were no information about it from quite some time, even with the Chapter 4 release. Given how quiet it is, and comments arise that chaos is underperforming and thus the silence. Especially that when it was announced in Fortnite, many blame it for performance issues. For UEFN though, all this visual fidelity means creators will have to take care of performance and size of maps when creating feature experiences. We don't know how memory is going to be handled with UEFN, but UE 5.1 did increase the bar for minimal requirements of Fortnite. Its new capabilities require heavy in-memory assets, which will lengthen load times and drop performance when not used carefully. UE 5.1 comes also with some new issues, and it is reported there is performance drop after Fortnite shifted to it, and this could also have added to UEFN delays. Maybe Epic is actually fixing some issues with the engine, and all those things that we've mentioned to this point do add to conclusion that they need a little bit more time to work also on the tech side of UEFN and Creative. Let's move on to next topic, Unreal Engine audio learning sources. Beside a ton of recordings from Unreal Fest 2022 uploaded to Epic channels, in December we got plenty of interesting materials and tech talks concerning audio in Unreal Engine coming from Game Sound Con. So you remember Vibin Chapter 3 Season 3? It was heavily music themed, and some of those talks cover how Fortnite dev team achieved many features and made some iconic POIs using Unreal Engine built-in audio systems, or created new to help with the audio design and production. Unreal comes with a whole suite of audio tools and plugins. You can check and read documentation for many of them in UE docs dedicated to working with audio in UE. And as mentioned, new videos and learning materials are now available on Epic Dev Learning site. You definitely remember Rave Cave, this iconic POI released in Chapter 3 Season 3 in May 2022, and there is an entire talk about how they managed to make diegetic audio in this legendary POI, or how they generated soundtrack for 13 hours of chapter and waiting screen from Unreal. Well, you can do a lot now with UE 5 and 5.1 audio tools, and I recommend getting familiar with them as we will use them in UEFN. Those are already used in Fortnite, and I'm pretty sure we will get our hands on them in editor for Fortnite. 23.00 and 23.10 updates for Fortnite Creative did bring us a few goodies from new chapter battle royale map like Dirt Bike Spawner, new motorcycle usable in Creative, Excalibur rifle, new legendary semi-automatic rifle firing explosive blades, Slapberry and the Slap Juice new consumables, which were adopted by some most useful consumable yet, which gives health, shield, and energy allowing for sprinting without being tired for some time. There was a ton of quality of life updates to core game systems, such as a new event browser for those using the direct event binding system, and a smaller collisions capsule around the players, visual and UI updates to multiple devices and bug fixes for devices, prefabs and galleries. Hurling mechanic, the new player movement type which makes character now automatically hurtle over or onto obstacles when sprinting into them in islands that allow this new player movement is available. You can turn this on or off using the allow hurtling option in the settings tab of my island and with the class designer or team settings in inventory devices. So if you have converted islands to the direct event binding system introduced in November, you'll notice a replacement for the channel browser in my island, the event browser. The new event browser shows you all devices and your island that have direct event bindings and gives you the ability to teleport to them. You can see the quick summary of how many events and functions are connected for each device, all from one place. The all devices tab returns from the channel browser, but Epic added a search bar so you can more easily find the devices you need to teleport to them. And they promise to work on the event browser in the future by adding, for example, a teleporting to the devices from the right side of panel, as you now can only to the left ones. In December, we also learned performance dashboard screen coming to Fortnite Creative. Contains detailed information about the performance of your island across the platforms and the types of issues your islands might experience. You can use the data from the screen to plan adjustments to your island gameplay. Also, a very important news came as total surprise. Now there is no limit of devices you can place on an island. Of course, usual memory limit persists, but you can place as many devices instances of same type as you want under the limit of memory. Still, there are limitations like, for example, SAC device, and there might be more in the future. Let's go back for a while into Battle Royale Island. As mentioned, it did get updated to the new Chapter 4 map, and along with it, creators can now select from 3 options for the endgame screen in their Battle Royale Island. The classic creative endgame screen, Battle Royale endgame screen, and custom, which gives you 2 animations to choose from and allows for customized text, subtext, and the colors for the victory and the defeat condition. There were also some removed options from its island's options, causing problems pending to be worked over time by Epic. Of course, with the new chapter, Battle Royale Island got a few new weapons. We also got island templates updates for conditional button and team settings and inventory as means of learning how to use them. At the end, we're gonna look at what December did also bring about UEFN. It is going to be mostly from the team Sweeney, and he hinted at us that the deep linking will be coming to Fortnite Creative. It will allow you to create shortcuts and possibly desktop ones, but I bet that this will mean more as URLs can be, for example, embedded, and they will make you able to get the specific creative experiences you like as a shortcut. It will work only on feasible platforms, so possibly not all of them, but it might not work on consoles. Then, Team Sweeney was talking something about the custom characters, meaning player skins might be possible in Creative one day. As the big CEO said, they will be possible eventually, but not very soon. Tim also said that UEFN will run and be developed alongside Creative 1.0. Creative mode we have today running in the game, saying both are very complementary. This means we will have essentially 2 types of versions built of Creative. One for Creative 1.0 and one for UEFN. And we saw those who follow Creative branches updates reported that there are builds called, for example, 23.00 UEFN and 23.00 for Creative 1.0. So you see there are 2 types of branches being run at the same time, and this is going to continue as Team said. Also quite important information from 7th of December was about cabinet accounts introduced for Epic Game Services and consequently for Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League. As they say, it's a new safer way for kids to join Metaverse by having all players under the age of 13 to get parents' consent on actions they can experience using Epic Game Service. There is a handle list on what actions will be disabled in the cabinet accounts until the cabinet one. Guardian provides consent through the email received from Epic. This is a step towards making online experiences safer for younger audiences and gives parents more control over ways their pupils will interact with digital experiences possible with Epic account services, and is part of Epic Online services, which are free cross-platform services for multiplayer games, providing quick to install, high quality game launching operation, and scaling. You can read and learn more about Epic Online Services on Epic Developer Resources site. Link is in the description, but I highly recommend this video overview from Epic about how the Epic Online Services system is working. So this is the end of the part 2 of the December update, and I'm very sorry this came out very late actually in the January. December and beginning of the January is always a busy month for me and my family. So yeah, a little bit of a delay, but I hope that in the future and coming months we're gonna firstly get UEFN, and I'm gonna have a little bit more time to finally finish some kind of tutorials that I was working on and have more time for doing stuff with creative. So thanks for watching. As always, join the Discord, subscribe to this channel, join the UEFN subreddit, where I'm also posting interesting informations about UEFN, various programming language, and whatever interesting bits about what can be useful for UEFN and Fortnite Creative.